question here, just to really drill down, is how does it affect first-time fix rates? How do you really see that, the time for resolution, and ultimately what we were just talking about, that customer satisfaction? Have you guys got any sort of tangible stories or numbers there that would demonstrate, wow, like I need to have a serious look at what this technology is?
I'm smiling on that one because it's yet another discussion that gives me the opportunity to say I love our industry, but boy, we have got to drag it into, you know, the right century. And what I mean by that is there are other industries that are far ahead of us in adopting not only this technology, but other similar technologies. And we don't have, or at least I don't have, access to any database right now. I only have anecdotes. By comparison, you know, Mark, you've been doing this, I don't know how many countries you're in or how many users you have right now, but you have a database, whereas some of us, Mark and I, were trying to take the food service equipment industry and saying, come on guys, you know, we need to do this. So Mark, why don't you share something there?
Yeah, no, we do have some real data, Scott, around that, and we spend a lot of time and energy trying to understand that better. And you know, every customer is different, every industry is different here, but you know, first time fix rate improvements of 20% are pretty reasonable. There's a metric that you didn't ask about that we measure. I talked before about, you know, true customer support. So we actually help improve what you might call phone fix rate or dispatch avoidance, right? So we have, you know, certainly first time fix rate goes up, but if you don't have to send a truck at all, you know, that may be even better, and certainly increases your customer sat scores as well. So we've seen major improvements at 20% or more across all of those metrics.
Wow, that's a large percentage in anyone's mind.
Yeah, well, remember, and this is something that's important to understand for anybody who's going to roll this out, is that doesn't just happen. You have to build this remote assistance into your support processes and your tech processes. And once you do that, and there's a lot of ways to do that, certainly making the technology easy to use is part of that, but changing your process is important as well. So the companies that focus on change management, and when I say change management, this isn't some 2-year, you know, big 5 consulting deal, right? This is just making simple changes in your process. You already have the process down. You just need to infuse the superpower into your process and you'll see the results.
Hey, Scott, let me throw out another one for you. You know, we've talked about how a company, a manufacturer, or somebody else can support the user. And we've also talked about how you can support a technician in the field. But there's also this area that kind of lives in between, which is understanding a situation, diagnosing a situation before you roll the truck out. And that's where we're seeing some really great opportunities. And I'll give you my favorite example. If somebody calls because their combi oven in a really busy kitchen, their combi oven is dripping water on the floor, I have 2 options. I can send a technician out there at 100 miles an hour to determine that the door seal or the door gasket is blown, and then he can come back a week later with a door gasket. Or I can use Help Lightning, and in about 5 minutes with the customer, I can determine that the door gasket is blown, and I can send him out there one time with the door gasket. And the economics and the customer satisfaction and leveraging our limited pool of technicians, all those metrics go up. And it has to do with how we triage, diagnose, and dispatch calls. And that's a great application for technology like this.
Yeah, it's like we've conspired, but we haven't. That's one of our passion pieces, Dennis, is remote first service. So providing remote technicians to really triage, understand, and potentially fix remotely. But one of the benefits of that, and this wasn't supposed to be anything about us or me in this in this discussion today, but because you've mentioned it, but one of the big things it does is, instead of just getting a customer service call And we often hear, oh, the customer service took the wrong part number because the customer didn't know the part number or didn't know what the actual problem was. You're getting a deeper triage before you're dispatching, and even if you have to dispatch. So our passion is, can we do remote first service and have technicians remotely fix, I'm going to say, a lot of these problems, because I don't have proper data right now to quote percentages, but it's looking really exciting. As you guys have alluded to or said straight out, the more this technology, the more these ovens have the diagnostic tools available in them for us to do this remotely, I think it's going to be a huge part of the way we service, especially in food equipment, in the coming years. So it's a very big passion piece of ours at Origo, Dennis. So thanks for bringing that one up.